roots of our church reach deep into the coastal prairie. The fertile soil and long growing season attracted the 19th century farmers from the Midwest, and they brought with them their religion. In 1893, Presbyterian minister Reverend Henry S. Little met with members of the Union Sunday School and organized the Presbyterian Church of Webster. In practice, it was a community church, a heritage remembered today by our tradition of reciting trespasses instead of debtors in the Lord's Prayer. Our first church, constructed in 1896 and swept away in the devastating hurricane of 1900, was witness to the presence of God's grace at Webster. A fallen beam in the wreckage left by the storm protected the church Bible. The little white church was rebuilt. Webster thrived, crops grew, cattle grazed. In 1903, Sato Sabata arrived with a small group of Japanese Christians, bringing modern rice farming to the upper Texas Gulf Coast. One of the most successful local farmers was patriarch of Webster's church, Henry Waldo Boughton. Christian education was of utmost importance, evidenced today by several local elementary schools reflecting the names of our early Sunday school teachers. For decades, Presbyterian ministers visited Webster a few times each year to preach. But in 1931, Gertrude Seabold, hired by the Presbytery to help area churches, settled at Webster and preached her Bible stories every Sunday. She also served as moderator of session and was the first woman ordained elder in the synod. It wasn't until 1955 that a full-time Presbyterian minister was installed at Webster. Under Paul Young's leadership and those that followed, the congregation grew, and in 1960 its first brick structure was dedicated. Not a soul worshiping in the new sanctuary could foretell the changes awaiting them following the federal government's selection of the area for NASA's Manned Space Center. Soon, Webster was known as the Church of the Astronauts. Several space pioneers, including John Glenn, worshiped with the congregation and provided leadership to the church. On July 20th, 1969, one of the first two humans to visit Earth's moon, church elder and astronaut Buzz Aldrin, requested a moment of silence, gave thanks, and celebrated communion on the moon's surface. With communion elements given to him by the church 250,000 miles away, this Presbyterian began a tradition still commemorated here annually. On Palm Sunday in 1983, our congregation of more than 300 families christened a new, larger sanctuary building. During the following decade, we grew stronger and began to help our neighbors with the founding of Interfaith Caring Ministries, Bay Area Habitat for Humanity, and The Turning Point. With a growing and changing staff, Webster greeted the 21st century with an expanding campus and yet another sanctuary complex. Our strong roots have served us well and have nurtured our growth and faith.